Welcome back to AM Buffalo and our celebration of Women's History Month. Good morning. We're continuing our conversations, of course, with women making their mark across Western New York and making history, making a profound impact. So we bring in Lisa Coppola, founder of the Coppola Firm and chair-elect of NAWBO National.
Good morning.
Welcome.
So happy to be with you.
Oh, we're so honored.
Thank you
for
the invitation.
Honored. So we talked about your law firm, or Emily mentioned your law firm right off the top.
Right.
Give us the history of that, because you're dynamic.
Well, we are proudly woman-owned here in Western New York. Our firm's been around since 2015, and we work with entrepreneurs. We work with businesses. Many women-owned, hundreds of women-owned businesses in our Western New York, Buffalo, Niagara community. And we also represent individuals, particularly individuals who've been injured, and we bring to them our mission of being responsive and fierce, but compassionate.
I can see all of that. I can see all of that.
So you're passionate about helping women, it's very clear. In a way that I think folks out there might have gotten wind of right before we went to break, but you are in a very amazing position, not just to shine light on Buffalo, but Buffalo across our nation, because you are representing, or the chair-elect for the National Association of Women-Owned Businesses. This is fantastic. Can you speak to that? Like, what does it mean that you are now the head of this national group?
It is so exciting, and I am so honored to be installed in June of this year as the chair of that organization.
Congrats.
NAWBO represents over 12 million women business owners across the country. We are the only dues-paying organization. We were founded on advocacy, right? Women on the Hill in Washington, D.C., demanding equity back almost 50 years ago in 1975 when we were founded.
Oh my gosh.
And what does equity look like for a woman business owner?
Well, that's a great question, Mercedes. So equity is simply ensuring that we are on equal footing with men in business. And while that has improved over these almost 50 years, there are still deficits. One of those deficits is access to capital. Women do not have access to capital in the same way men owners or men C-suite folks have, and we are changing that to make sure that our federal government, and in many respects state governments across the country, make note of that and pass legislation in a bipartisan fashion. That's very important to us.
Power in numbers, correct?
Indeed.
When you represent on the Hill, what's your call to action for women out there during Women's History Month to be able to say, in order for these changes to happen, we need to show solidarity? Could you speak to those folks?
Absolutely. What we want to do is tell our stories. That is the most important part of advocacy, is storytelling, ensuring that our representatives, some of whom have been in business in their families, but many of whom have not. So they need to understand what Main Street challenges are like. And when we bring our stories to them and their staffers, they understand the needs and they understand how we as women business owners drive our national economy. In fact, new women businesses were the largest businesses that came out of the pandemic. Women in droves, millions of them started businesses.
I know one. She's right here.
That's awesome.
It's work. It's work.
It is work, of course.
You are paving the way for young women, but you're also going to pass the torch.
That's right.
Speak to the young ladies that you're going to eventually pass the torch to.
Well, I am so happy to do that. NAWBO National has an entire initiative called our Next Gen group, where we talk to women in high school and in college who are parts of entrepreneurial programs, or perhaps not even yet understanding or thinking about business, and we show them that it is possible to do. And that's such a powerful opportunity. You know, we look at the women, our foremothers, as we say, on whose backs we became successful, and then we lift as we climb.
I love that. You know what? Speaking of mentors, speaking of people who inspire us and boost us up, I have to give a shout out, of course, to Paula D'Amico, our producer here on AM Buffalo, who is a past president of NAWBO here in Buffalo.
That's right.
And she is currently still in that process of mentoring future presidents. And I love that women, especially Paula, thank you so much for doing that. because you can't ever step away from leadership, right? You can't ever step down. Once you've assumed that position, you'll be a leader forever. And it's fantastic and inspiring to see. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
For sure.
We appreciate you.
So happy to be with you.
And where can people find more information about NAWBO?
Oh my goodness, please go to NAWBO.org. So NAWBO, NAWBO.org. And here in Western New York, NAWBOWNY.org. We would love to see you at a meeting coming up very soon.
Love that. So there you go. There's your invitation,
Yes,
Mercedes.
I'm there. I'm there.
We're
And
going to
after,
take a quick break. Yeah.
we'll be right back.